It's taken?
Yes, sir, it's
Yeah, it is
already
taken. It's
started
taken.
recording.
100 I have taken.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you. Okay, so recording is started. We will start with the session now.
Okay.
Shishirats and Pavitra, ma'am, kindly mute yourself. A very good afternoon to one and all. I, Trupti Tagare, Assistant Professor, Department of ENC, Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering, on behalf of Department of ENC, Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering, Bengaluru, welcome each and every one of you to this webinar on Technology and Innovations, a value addition for entrepreneurial skills for planning startups and building innovative products fit for market. I wholeheartedly welcome today's distinguished speaker, Dr. Kankipati Srinivas Rao, Associate Professor, Osmania University, Hyderabad, Telangana. I also welcome Dr. T.C. Manjunath, Professor and Head, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. All the staff members, dear participants, invitees, guests to this webinar. Dear participants, this webinar aims to extend the knowledge of each one of you on how to build innovative products that fit the market with startups and teach you entrepreneurial skills, and to make you more equipped and ready to we have with all of us our esteemed speaker, Dr. Kankipati Srinivas Rao. I request Dr. Pavitra G, Associate Professor, Department of ECE, DSE, to introduce to all of us Dr. Kankipati Srinivas Rao.
Thank you, Tripti ma'am. First of all, I like to introduce the eminent, well-known personality in the education circle, Dr. Srinivas Rao. Okay, so I would like to give a brief introduction of our resource person. So, Dr. Rao is an associate professor in the Department of Commerce in the Premier Institute of Vivekavardhani College of Arts, Commerce, Science and Postgraduate Studies, Osmania University, Hyderabad, India. Dr. Rao obtained PhD from HNB Grawal Central University, Srinagar, Uttarakhand from the Department of Commerce in the year 2008 on the title Impact of Information Technology in Banking Service, a case study of Punjab National Bank. Dr. Rao has got 25 years of outstanding teaching and research experience in various levels. Dr. Rao published 70 research papers in various national, international, high impact scopus and UGC scale. Okay, Dr. Rao presented 45 research papers in several international and national conferences. Okay, Dr. Rao, under his guidance, 3 PhD awarded and reputed. Dr. Srinivas Rao has submitted 2 research projects as major and minor to the University Grants Commission, New Delhi. I would like to tell you the students, please note that Dr. Rao has got Best Teacher Awards for 4 times. Okay, Dr. Rao is a trained program officer from Government of India for National Service Scheme and conducted many programs in slums. Dr. Rao is a member editorial board for 25 national and international journals from various countries. Doc is a resource person of various universities such as IGNOU, Ambedkar, Open University, Annamalai University for management studies. He is associated with examinations, evaluations, assessments, activities in various level of academics. Dr. Rao has, in this pandemic, Dr. Rao has delivered more than 600 talks in this pandemic situation. Okay, his current research interests include banking, CRM, rural development, skill development, marketing. Dr. Rao has visited several countries such as Malaysia, Thailand, Bangkok. Okay, thank you, sir, for your excellent profile, sir. We are very much blessed to and eager to hear your words and wisdom in the field of entrepreneurship. Okay, now I would like to hand over the dais to you, sir. Over to you, sir. Sir, over to you for your presentation, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you very much for your kind words.
No, sir, your excellence profile matters a lot.
Yes.
Got 4 times best teaching award. Excellent, yes. Sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for your kind words. I'm very much thankful to all of you that today in the afternoon session that it's my pleasure and privilege to be associated with you. And it's a great institution, Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering, and especially the Department of Electronics and Communication. It's really a wonderful institution. I have heard about this institution. It's a great reputed institution. The people who are working over there as a faculty, it's a really great people. I have seen the biodatas and all, the profiles of the faculty over there. All are excellent, up to the mark, and they have so many credentials and all that. It's really wonderful to be associated with you all. And in this situation, I would like to thank Dr. CPS Prakashji, principal of this great institution, and Dr. TC Manjunathji, professor, head of the department, ECE, and the coordinators, Dr. Pavitra Madam, associate professor, Dr. Shashi Razi, assistant professor, and Professor Trupti Tagore Madam, assistant professor of the department, and the students, staff who attended this webinar in a huge manner. 100 students, 100 participants already there among all. Many students are there and faculty members are there. It's really very delighted for me to be associated with you in this evening, in this afternoon, and on the topic that technology innovations, value addition for entrepreneurship, skills for planning startups, and the building innovation products fit for market. See, this is very important aspect, very important concept that is the need of the hour today that we have to discuss, because the situations we all of us experiencing for the last 1.5 years, the pandemic situations are taking place, and we are faculty, as a faculty member, as a researcher, we are using all online modes and all that. So this webinar is also in a line of that systems, on those systems. Anyhow, we have to go according to the situations and all that. So that is okay. And here in the gathering of this 100 participants, when I see majority of the students, I think were students, and of course faculty also there from different institutions, and all the engineering students are also there. Many students are also attended in this webinar. It's a very happy that to be associated with you all. And for you students, I would like to tell one important thing before I would like to start going into the details of this entrepreneurship skills, and to start a startup for introducing a new product into the market for its success and all that. So this is the point. Is what I would like to tell you is the students, younger generations need to look into the situations today. It's sometimes it is very difficult to get the opportunities, good opportunities in the public sector nowadays, either the government or any other private sector only. We have to look into it for getting good opportunities and all that. When you talk about opportunities, it is very important that one should have the skills. If you don't have the skills, it is very difficult to get the opportunities in today's situations. So that is why you need to equip, as our faculty rightly stated, that you need to equip that with the new technology and the new, the innovations, ideas that you have to think about, and you have to, the students especially should think about the environment, should observe the environment, and should observe the economy, and should observe the business, entrepreneurship, how things are going on, how the changes are taking place day by day. All these things should observe carefully, because you need to enter into the entrepreneur activity. If you want to enter into entrepreneurial activity as a self-employment, because as I told that the employment is not possible from the government side for all the younger generations. So younger generations, fortunately, in the years to come, our India is going to be the youngest populated country in the world. When you talk about youngest populated country, then definitely, certainly, all of us, all the younger generation should have the skills, innovations in their minds, ideas. They have to come up with that, so that what happens, the entrepreneurial skills, they have to develop themselves. by observing different domains, the developments in addition to the domain, different domains along with the technology and innovations, how they are emerging in different domains and all that, that we have to, younger generations have to observe very keenly. They have to monitor, and accordingly they are supposed to mold their career according to the changing situations and all that. So all the details I will discuss with you. Just wait for a few seconds so that I will share the screen. Then we'll discuss at length. Just a minute. Is the screen visible, please? Is the screen visible, please?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir. It's visible.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Yes, the topic is, as I mentioned, as I told you, technology innovations, value addition for entrepreneurial skills, planning startups, and building, the innovative products for fit for market. This is very, very important. When you talk about, when you look into the title of this, the title of the webinar, this is rightly you have chosen, and of course they have asked me, and I also given some title related to the entrepreneurship, some slight changes. You have done it. It's good, and overall the title is very important need of the hour. So as I mentioned, the technology innovations are very important for the development of the entrepreneurship. And for the development of the entrepreneurship, when you talk about entrepreneurial skills are very important. You cannot forget, you cannot, ignore the entrepreneurial skills. If you want to develop the if you want to develop an entrepreneurship, without skills, we cannot imagine the development and all that. The growth and development is not possible. So that is why the innovative thinking, innovative ideology is very important time to time, every time. Then only as an entrepreneur, you can survive, you can stay back in the market situations, because the competition is very high today. Because day by day, so many substitutes for one product. You can find so many substitutes coming in the market. In that situation, to face the competition in the market, you are supposed to be a skilled person, and you are supposed to be an innovative towards the development of the product and service. It's not that only product, services also. So all those things I will talk about in detail. Just let us move on to the second slide. The presentation sketch speaks about entrepreneur, basic business skills of business management skills. We talk about it, then business development skills, teamwork and leadership skills, marketing skills, right? And technical, financial skills we'll talk about. And you have the analytical problem is very important nowadays when you are implementing a particular business model. It's very important how to solve the problem. Problems will go and come in the business environment. So how effectively that you have to solve the problem, what are the techniques, methods that you are going to use for coming out, the way out for the problem which emerges in the business in different domains of the business. And you have the critical thinking is very important to the entrepreneur. And the skills of the strategic thinking and the planning also equally important to the entrepreneur. And when you come to the what is startup and how the startup will be generated, and what are the ecosystem for us to start up for a startup and all that also we'll see. And not only that, you have the another important point is that entrepreneurial innovations, and we'll talk about few notable startups. There are many thousands of startups are there. For the last 7-8 years, we have been seeing it. A flood of the startups are coming every day. Thousands of startups are generating. Of course, all the startups are not successfully running, but some of them are running successfully. So that few successful startups also will check into it. And entrepreneurial innovative strategy, idea, commercialization. You have an idea, how you have to take that idea to the commercialization, because the commercial aspect element is very important for the successful of the entrepreneur and the successful of the entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, at the end of the day, the success is very important, and you have the commercial aspect in the sense the profit making is very, very important. The idea behind any entrepreneurship, any business is the objective of any entrepreneurship, any business is the profit motive. It's not the service mode. Of course, some services also, the goods and services are also there. The services also, behind the services, you can find, the profit, some earnings and all that. So all those things we'll look into it. Entrepreneurial technology driven industries, some of the entrepreneurial technology driven industries, what are the, well, there are many industries, a few, name a few, I will just place before you. And then you have entrepreneurial development through humatronics and technology and entrepreneurial segregation. We'll talk about technological innovations, entrepreneurship we discuss about, and then you have the reshaping entrepreneurial innovative technologies. How the existing technology is reshaping in the days to come, how it is going to be changed, modified, and how it will take the existing technology in existing products or services, how they are taking shape in the days to come or in the years to come. That we'll see. And already some technologies, some products, how they are gone making changes and all that. Also we'll see, and how these changes, modifications are required, along with the how these changes and the modifications are required for the existing product. That is a big question, because you are a manufacturer, you're an entrepreneur, you want to survive in the market, you want to conduct the business for a longer period, means you need to modify the product. You need to modify the product. For that modification, what all these, all about this innovation is very, very important. Innovation all about, the value addition to the existing product. That we'll discuss in detail. So that's about. Next, if you coming to the entrepreneurship, all of you know, my dear students, you're all well versed. Of course, you are an engineering background maybe, but for engineering background professionals, it is nowadays the entrepreneurship is very important, as I mentioned in the previous some few minutes back. So you have to think on those lines, because earnings are very important at the end of the day. You have to sustain, you have to survive in the life effectively, and you have to lead a good life. So if you want to lead a good life, what is important, wherever the greater earnings possibilities are there, you need to adapt them, you need to inculcate those skills and all that, and you have to move forward, so that your well-being, and you will be survived in the market, or you will be survived, you will lead a good life, standard life, quality life, that is possible. So that is why, as far as entrepreneurship is concerned, entrepreneurial skills are concerned, I will talk about certain things that you just check it. And I'm sure that many of you may turn in the future definitely as an entrepreneur, but before you turn as an entrepreneur, you should have the idea what skills that you should have, and what are the methods that you have to adapt, what technologies, why the technologies and innovations are required to mold yourself as a good entrepreneur, and all that we'll see. And the basic business skills, and you, first of all, as an entrepreneur, you should have the awareness about the economy, business functions, marketing, management, and all these are all broader aspect of the business. On all these domains, you should, on all these areas, the young entrepreneurs should have an idea, should have an awareness, so that what happens, he will move forward. So the failures will be very, very less if you have the broader concept, broader idea in your mind. That is very important. So that is why one should have the basic business skills, which are related to all these, the knowledge and awareness, economy, business functions, the marketing and management, all very, very important. One should know, the young entrepreneurs. And you have the business management skills. When you talk about decisiveness, is very important. Ultimately, you need to take a decision whether you have to go for production or you have to go for trading. There are two types. One is production, manufacturing, whether you have to take the manufacturing or you have to go for trading. Trading is not even selling and buying of a product without manufacturing. So what type of, the areas that you have to select in that manufacturing, say, for example, if you opt manufacturing, in manufacturing, what type of product that you have to produce and how you have to produce, what are the resources that are available surrounding you, and the market situations and the consumers' tastes, habits, and the traditions, customs, all those things you need to be taken. It's not that as an entrepreneur, if you want to survive in the market, it's not that your interest and all that. If you want to produce any product, it is all the time you should take the habits, the tastes of the consumers and customers. That is very, very important. Then only you can click in the market, otherwise you will be out of arena. So that is why the decisiveness. So the analysis, you have to first you have to collect the information of different people, their tastes and the traditions and all that you have to collect, and you have to analyze it properly, and what exactly they require for their requirement, what exactly they need, all those things you have to ask them, and what are the problems that they are encountering with the project, with the current products, and what modifications they want in the existing products, in the existing products which are available in the market. All those things should be taken into consideration. You have to analyze it, then you have to take the decision whether you have to go for production or not. Or if you want to go for production according to the opinions of the public and consumers, then you have to what length of production that you have to take up, and all those things, and the market situations also you need to take into consideration. On the basis of that, you need to take the decisions. That is very, very important. Ability to plan, and you should have a planning is very important in manufacturing. When you are an entrepreneur, every time, every minute, every second is very, very important and precious. So that is why the planning for the development and the growth and development of the entrepreneurship is very important. As an entrepreneur, you should have the skills of time management and all that. So ability to plan with you, how you have to execute a particular plan, how you have to execute. First of all, you have to plan a blueprint. Should be prepared, and that blueprint, according to the blueprint, and you need to move forward, and how you have to implementation, how you have to execute it, and what are the methods, what are the technology that is required, what are the innovations to be added to the technology, and how you have to successfully introduce the product in the market for successful selling for successful selling of the product in the market. So these are all you need to plan, and you should have guts to implement it. Ability, that is what we call. And the capacity should be implemented with all sources, financial sources and other sources also very important equally, that all you have to take capital structure and all that you have to plan. It's not that only planning in the sense it's not confined to only one particular HR or one particular production or one particular the finances. The organization of all these resources are very important. You have to equip all these things, and moreover, in addition to this, you have another important thing, technology and innovations are there. So you have to take all these things into consideration, and you have to coordinate them effectively, and then you have to come out of it. You have to come out with the successful product for selling to sell in the market. And you have the business development skills when you talk about evaluating performance of the employees. Time today, when you are an entrepreneur, you are supposed to evaluate the employees' performance and all that, because the entrepreneurship always not your own. Not individual cannot perform all the activities. So as an entrepreneur along with him, a team is required. So the team is very important. The team are nothing but the employees of employees who can perform various activities in the organization. So the point is here, you need to perform the employees' performance. You need to evaluate, monitor the performance of the employees. You need to take the correct people for the right people, right work. So right job. So that is very important. So then what happens, quality product will come out. So that is why the performance of evaluation of the performance of the employees are very, very important. As far as that is one skill that you have to inculcate in the minds of the entrepreneurs to start up when they begin to start the startups and all that. And you have areas to improve. What are the areas for a period of time? Improvement will not come in the beginning itself when you started today, and immediately you cannot improve. So overnight it is not possible. So you have to see many things. When it is only it happens only over a period of time. What are the lacunae that you have that you have to identify, and how you have to improve it? What are the market conditions, as I mentioned a few minutes back, and what are the tastes and the traditions of the people, customs and their tastes. All those things you have to take into consideration. Then you can decide how you have to improve. What are the areas to improve for the successful conduct of sales of your particular product and all that. That is one thing. And you have the maintaining relationship, customer relationship, CRM is very, very important area. So because the customer is the king for any entrepreneurship, customer is the king. So if you forget the customer, that's what I told you a few seconds back. What I told you is that you need to collect the tastes, needs, habits of the people. So then accordingly you have to introduce the product with all modifications, with all modifications should be added to that. Add in the sense, then modifications means it's associated with the innovations. So the innovations will give you there's some modifications to the existing product. Innovation is not a new product. Innovation is only value addition to the existing product. Why we should add the value to the existing product means every time way back 25 years back, I think, say for example, you have started a production 25 years back, the same product is even now also if you want to sell for a period of time, what happens, the people will not buy it, they will not comfort, they want to change, they want some new product, new look they require. So of course your product may be more qualitative and all that, no doubt about it, but at the same time some different, the look and all that, and the performance of the product also, quality wise, quantity wise, and the quantity wise, compactness and all that, you need to add to that. So that how you have to add, that is what is associated with the innovations and all that. So that innovations is a continuous process for the conduct of successful conduct of entrepreneurship and successful selling of the product in the market. So that is very, very important. One should take into consideration. Opportunities in other channels. It's not that every time if you want to sell the same product, sometimes what happens, the people will be vexed with you. You need to, diversifications are very important. You need to take diversions. For example, one product is not in a position, is not having the demand at present in the market, say for example. For that, what you have to take measures, so some diversifications, different products also you need to think about on the same lines every day to day. And that all decisions can be taken, but if you can observe close monitoring, if there is a close monitoring about the market, about the people, or the consumers, end users in the sense, and users are nothing but consumers. So their habits and tastes, if you can observe closely, monitor closely, then you will find out what are the things that you have to need to be modified and all that. And business development offers growth potential, you will come to know. And you have the teamwork and leadership skills. That's what a few seconds back I told you, that a leader to work as a part of a team. He's a part of a team. He's not that he's a leader, he's a manufacturer, he's whole and soul, of course, but along with him, he cannot do all the works on his own. Definitely, he has to take the help of the effective people. A team is very important. A team can make wonders, and the leader has to take advices from the team for updation of the product and all that. So he has to listen carefully to the, as a leader, he has to listen carefully to the team, and whatever important suggestions or the ideas, innovative ideas they give for the development or for the modification of the product, then he has to take and he has to implement it. So the communication is also a very important skill the entrepreneur should have. Nowadays, all of you're all students, majority of you are students, and you should have, already, because Bangalore is a software hub and technology capital in the country. And you have in Bangalore, there are many startups are there, thousands of startups are there. Bangalore is the origin for startups and all that, I can say proudly. So you are the people living over there, and it's a great opportunity for all of you, my dear students. Kindly listen carefully, and you have to mold yourself, you have to mold your career, come up with new ideas and all that. There are certain platforms to discuss about your ideas. You can go over there, as an incubation centers are there, very well, and you can go over there and you can sit and you can discuss with the people who are expert in the on those areas, and you can come up with the new ideas on how you have to implement, what are the financial support that you require, how you can get it. All those information you can discuss elaborately in incubation centers. Today we have thousands of incubator centers are there in universities and institutions. Many are established the incubation centers. So these are all the opportunities that you have. You should have always the young entrepreneurs, the students, my dear participants. You always think that what are the opportunities that you have today to come up in the life, or to become an entrepreneur, skilled entrepreneur and all that. That you need always to be thinking, because you are going to complete your engineering and all that. Then what next? That is very important. What are some plans you must be there in your mind? So if you want to become an entrepreneur, how you have to come up? What are the skills that you require? How you have to start a startup and all that? Because you are living just now I told you, you are living in a Bangalore area where the Bangalore is known for startups and all that. So it's known for software and technology hub, the Bangalore. So that is why you have to grab the opportunities and you have to think the innovatively and you have to come up with all ideas, and you can implement it and come up in the life by introducing by developing the entrepreneurship and all that. So these skills are very important for you. The communication skills are very important nowadays. I don't need to tell you, because you know very well the communication skills, how it is playing a vital role in the life of in the today's life. So listening to the response, the leader should listen the responses of the potential clients, the customers' opinions when you are taking about, because customer opinions you need to take, because without customers you cannot imagine the entrepreneurs. That's what I mentioned a few minutes back. So discussions during the meetings should be recorded, and you have to review it. You have to get the feedback of different people, different customers, different people, consumers, end users, and your team members. All these information should be taken, and the messages also should be very when you send the message to the team or when you are receiving the messages always should be technical, should be concise and understandable, easy language, so that the people can easily understand. As far as your team is concerned, okay, because all are maybe well educated and other people can understand. But when you start a startup, then what happens? The people, some people, 500 people in a startup, usually 500 to 1,000 people will be working in a startup usually. So all the people should understand about your idea and all that. So for that, every time, every minute, you cannot meet the people personally. Physically, you cannot go to each and every individual. So you have to send messages. Communication should be sent. So the point is to whom you are sending the communication. What are their capacity levels and all that. How they can understand. What language that you have to use. All these things should be keep in mind. And accordingly, the messages and communication should send. That's what I'm talking about. The communication skills are very important for the entrepreneur. And you have the customer service skills. When you talk about interaction with the potential clients is very important. If you interact with the clients, what happens? You will come to know many things. So you can change your idea. Your idea, maybe basic idea will be there. But when you talk about the clients and all that, they also in your interaction, what happens, some ideas will come from the clients and all that. So that also you can improve, you can implement, you can add it to your idea, so that what happens, effective product can produce, or you can render a good service or product. You can render to the, you can supply a product or a good service, you can supply to the to the end users. And you have the maintaining long-term relationship and sharing valuable information. This is very important. Relationship is very important. Customer and the owner, customer or the entrepreneur. A relationship has to be maintained. Relationship only will maintain when, if you maintain a good quality, if you supply at a lesser price, if you can sell at a lesser price and more quality, if you can assure them, definitely the relationship will be, bondage will be there, will develop. If you don't are, and sometimes time to time you have to modify it also. So when you go on modify, then the people will be attracted and they will stick to your product, because there are many modifications according to the present trend. When you are making it, definitely they will stick to your product, and your product sales will not be deteriorated. That is one aspect. Diversification, manufacturing, trading, and you have the use of technology, optimum level of mitigates of the costs. So the costs are very important for entrepreneurship. When you are in manufacturing process, what is important? Minimization of costs are very important. That's what I told you. Costs to the maximum possible extent, costs are to be minimized. How you can minimize the costs? By minimizing the wastages, reduction or minimizing the wastages. You can minimize the costs, and minimizing the adopting the new technology and adding the innovations to your product, you can minimize the costs. So these are all the things. So minimization of costs reflects the profitability. Whatever percentage of cost that you are minimizing, that will be reflected in the profit, in the profit margin. So the profit margin always should be, you need to improve the profit margin, and that is only possible when you improve the quality of the product, and when you add some value addition to your product with innovations, then it is possible. So that is one important area. Use of technology, optimum level, mitigate the cost. That's what. So you can mitigate the cost by using the optimum technology, what is the technology that is available with you, and to what extent, how you have to use it, how you have to make use of the technology, and at a optimum level, that you have to, as an entrepreneur, should know it, and accordingly you have to make use of the technology and all that. Environment basis, incomes basis, you have to take the environment. What is the environment of surrounding of your region, your area, and what type of product that you are producing, how the people influence about, how the people going to influence about on your product and all that. Their income levels, their income basis. Income is very important, no, for buying of your product. The income levels in your area, people are higher income people, then definitely they can afford your product. Even if your product is a huge price, if you fix, they can afford it. If the people who are living over there, in and around or nearby your area, if they're middle class and below middle class people, if you want to buy it at a higher price, people will not afford it, and they will not buy your product. So that then immediately what happens, you cannot sell in the market. So that these are all problems will come. And you have the, so that is why you should know, as an entrepreneur, should know about the incomes or the incomes and surroundings, environment basis and all that. You should have an idea. Contribution of value addition, that's what I told you, I mentioned just a few seconds back. Compactness, product compactness is very important. And when I give you one simple example, compactness and all that, and innovative product. Nokia, all of you might be knowing, because you are living in a state, you are living in a place where Bangalore, as I mentioned, the technology and innovations are taking huge the front seat in Bangalore and all that. So then, if you can observe, you can easily understand the Nokia phone. If you take, say, for example, Nokia phone earlier, some years back, it was a very good product. Even in those days, it was very good product. But the only thing why today Nokia is nowhere in the market. Why? Because the innovations are not, a lack of innovations with the Nokia. So that is why. Innovations in the sense, Nokia earlier, the mobile phone, the features are only incoming and outgoing calls only. But over a period of time, what happens today, smartphones, we're all using smartphones and all that. In smartphones, so many features are added. Over a period of time, so many features are added, net connectivity and other features, apps, many apps, thousands of apps are there, are all included, added to the mobile phone. So these are all what I told you. Value addition is important for the product, for successful selling. Sustainability, if you want to maintain the sustainability of selling in the market for your product, these innovations, value additions are very important. That is why Nokia, earlier the Nokia product was good, but today, because of lack of innovations or value additions to the Nokia phone, that product nowadays it's not there in the market. So that is one of the important point that you have to understand and keep it in mind. And contribution of value addition, compactness, and customer productivity, customer requirements. That's what I mentioned. Customer requirement is very important. What is the requirement of the customer? Accordingly, you, an entrepreneur, should equip the skills, and accordingly you have to move forward. Then you will have no problem, and you can easily come up. And when analytical problem solving skills, this is very important. And entrepreneur, you as an young entrepreneur, you should have the capacity of problem solving. Actually, what do you mean by problem solving? You have to observe the people, you have to interact with the people. What are the problems they are facing with the existing product? That is very important. You need to identify, and once you identify to that particular product, what the value addition they is required to solve the problems of the end user, that you have to think. Once you identify, and once you give the value addition to the existing product and you supply to the consumer, then they feel very happy, they will buy it. So that is why problems are to be identified first, and that has to be analyzed systematically, scientifically, so that what happens, the consumers will be attracted towards you. So that is very important. Ability to assess the situation and make good decisions. So once the analysis is made, and you will come out with some findings and all that. On the basis of findings, the problems and findings, you can take a good decision, and that decision will definitely will give you a success to you in the market, and that can be easily sold out in the market, the product, without any problem, and generate the solutions. once you identify, that's what, once you identify the problems, observe the problems, then the solutions with the help of analysis and all that, systematic analysis, scientific analysis and all that, you can generate the solution that can be easily implemented for the existing product by adding the innovation, by adding innovations to that, and you will come out of the problem, and you can show a way out to the consumers. That is very, very important. Determine the outcome. So these are all very, very important, the skills that entrepreneurs should have. And risk tolerance is also very important. Under that, we can talk about 4 components: working long hours. People will work long hours and they will not be paid sometimes. So risk tolerance is very big. And as an entrepreneur, you should have the risk tolerance of, even if there are long hours, it is compulsory. You are forced to work long hours also, you have to work, because you want to come up as a successful entrepreneur means, and you want to develop the entrepreneurship means you need to work hours together, and long hours also you have to work together, 18 hours, 15 hours also. An entrepreneur, you have to need to work, and then only the success and all that will come. Success will not come in the overnight. It all depends upon the hard work that you are doing it. There is no, you can see shortcuts for anything, for many things, but you cannot find the shortcut for hard work. Hard work is hard work. One should work hard if he wants to come up in the life. That is very, very big. For entrepreneurship, for entrepreneur, it is there is no bar for entrepreneur. Entrepreneur should work hard because it's a business. Business is uncertain. So then it is compulsory, inevitable. You have to understand all this, and you have to work hard, and more tolerance must be there. Uncertain income, because there is an uncertain income, you have to work. Sometimes what happens, as I mentioned, uncertainty, because of uncertainty, income uncertainty is there. Sometimes even if you work hard, you have to face certain problems with the income, because of the demand and supply problem in the market. You have to face the problem. So all these things will come. You should mentally prepare, and you should have a tolerance level to come out to face the situations. Investment and hikes, competitions will be there, threat of competition. I told you in the beginning, the threat of competition. So many substitutes will be there for one product. My dear, please listen, all my dear students. For one product, there are many substitutes will be there in the market today. You can observe. For one product, there are many products. One product is, say, for example, if you are buying at 100 rupees, another product may be 50 rupees. Same product. And the use also same. And some people will buy at 70 rupees, some people will sell at 70 rupees, 100 rupees, 80 rupees, 40 rupees, 10 rupees also. It happens. So that means what? Of course, the quality may be different. I agree with you with that. But the quality is different, and on the basis of quality only, price is also fixed. Selling price will be fixed, no doubt about it. But the point is here, competition I'm talking about. Threat of competition will be there because of the substitutes and all that. So that, how effectively you have to come up, what are the solutions that you have, business model, what business model that you have to implement for the successful conduct of business, entrepreneurship and all that. That's very important. And you have the creative thinking skills, something in a new way. You have to think in a creativity. Creativity means a new, which is new, unique. Earlier it was not there. Now only you found it, and you are going to introduce it. It's a new product. A creativity is all about new product that you introduce, that you are going to introduce in the market, or that you are going to, that you are creating a new. When you create a new product with your idea, then if you have those skills, then you can create a new product, and that can be before you introduce the product of from your new ideology, from your creativity. You have to think the market conditions. I mentioned already in the previous slides. So on the basis of that, you have to, your creation is not on the basis of your interest. Your creation should be on the basis of the public, the society, their tastes and habits. I already discussed. So that is what is important. Critical thinking, objectives. The business entrepreneurship objectives are important. What are the objectives that you have to design first before you enter into the manufacturing, or if you are entering into the entrepreneurship arena? You have to check the objectives. What are the objectives of your own enterprise, and how you have to accomplish them. And the interpretation, you have to give certain interpretations also for your object of how you are going to, interpretation in the sense how you are going to accomplish it. What are the methods that you have? What are the techniques that you have to adopt? And what are the technology and innovation time to time that you have to introduce? All these things, the critical thinking, it is associated with all these things, the components. And strategic thinking and planning skills, when you talk about, is a critical thinking to solve complex problems also. So one should have, the entrepreneur should have a critical thinking to solve it, even if it is a complex problem. It can be easily the correct, what is the correct problem. Once you identify, then you can think on those lines and you can give a correct solution, whether it's a complex problem, a small problem, a big problem, whatever it is. So you need to take the correct opinion from the public, from the society, because they are the people, they are the customers, they are the, the end users, they are the masters for your product. So that is why, because they are going to use it. So that is why it is should be taken into consideration without any negligence. And these are to accomplish goals, and these are way out for hurdles, the strategic thinking and all that, planning skills and all that. And you have the flexibility. Sometimes the entrepreneur should have a flexibility. You should not resist to a particular, situations, because the business, as I mentioned, you need to go and modify according to the situations, according to the market, according to the people I mentioned already, the requirements and all that, very important. So flexibility is important, demand and supply in the market and all that. All the conditions you need to take into consideration. On the basis of that, you as an entrepreneur should have a flexibility in your ideology and execution. When you are executing a particular plan that you designed in the beginning, that need to be, you should, at the time of implementing, executing the plan, you need to be flexible. So that what happens, flexibility in the sense, according to the situations, you have to modify your plans and all that. So that should be there in the minds of that mind mentality, that ideology should be developed, should have the skill. That is also a skill has to develop in the minds of the young entrepreneurs, in their mind. That has to be habituated. It is according to the situation. And personal development, when you talk about entrepreneur development, is all the time. It's not the technology and innovations who should are to be talking, are to talk. It is, there are certain other components also an entrepreneur should think about. Say, for example, the other components, other elements, time management is very important. When you correct time and discipline, when you maintain, definitely your goal settings is very important. If you want to accomplish the objectives, these are all very important. It is individual, an entrepreneur individual have to imbibe in him, and he has to implement it on his own. Team building is also very important. You should motivate the team always. It's not that you have to motivate yourself, and you have to motivate the team also, so that what happens, you can move forward. And startups, when you come to the startup situations, a startup, all of you know, I told you in the previous slides also, startup is a new company, right? And starting by one or more entrepreneurs to develop, the unique product or service. It's a service or product, whatever it is. Funding either by themselves or family or friends. Sometimes they can take loan, or then they can take loan from the financial institutions. Nowadays, many funding a venture capitalists also there. You can get the amount from them, and you can start the startups and all that on the base of that, on the base of the capital. Funding is very important for starting up the startups and all that to begin with. So job seeker, this entrepreneur is a job seeker to a job creator. You are an entrepreneur, you are studying engineering engineering course, and you are a job seeker in the days to come. And you are not supposed to be job seeker, you are supposed to be job creator. So that happens only with the entrepreneurship. I'm not motivating you to against your interest and all that. If anybody is not interested towards entrepreneurship, I'm not forcing it. If those who are interested towards the entrepreneurship and all that, for them it is required, because majority of you, I think the opportunities are very less today in the public sector and all that. So that is why you need to think innovative, with all innovative ideas, mindset one should have. This is the high time for all you people, because once you complete the engineering graduate, if you come out if you go out of the college with a degree certificate and all that, then what will you do if they, for 5,000 or 10,000 rupees working with an organization, it is difficult to stay, or difficult to survive city like Bangalore in Karnataka. So it's very, very important. So that is why one should think about it, right? And accordingly, you have to take that's what I'm telling you. Whether it is entrepreneurship or any domain, you can take, no problem. But the thing is, you should have, ultimately what I'm telling you is, you should have you should become a skilled person. Skills are very important in the days to come, in the years to come. Skills only matters, I'm telling you very frankly. And there is no need to tell for you, because it all becoming graduates, and you are seeing the situations in the society today, how situations are taking shape, all that. So that is why skills are very important. What I'm telling you, whether it is entrepreneurship or any other domain, you have to be equipped with the skills. The skills, innovations, creativity, critical thinking, knowledge is very important. Knowledge, subject knowledge is important. Then you have to critical thinking, and you have to creative thinking, and then innovations, and then you have the all these. This is a process of the development of the human being. So these are all things that you have to keep in mind to come up in the life. So that is why the job seeker, job creator is possible in the entrepreneur. Idea, growth, more than person is less 100, 500, minimum 500 to 1000, or less than 500 also in some of the startups started. And use of technology, and whatever expertise in the technology, whatever technology they can use are suitable to their product, they are, you can take it with, you can add to your idea for its once the idea is implemented, executed, the growth process will start, and to that growth process innovations are to be added, and technology is to be added, then you will become expertise. So that is the point. And you have the committed, scalable, innovative market opportunities. You should have a situation, you should develop yourself with a committed, scalable every time, every time, every day. There should be a scalability, measurability in your activities of entrepreneurship. Innovative market opportunities, you need to, that's what I told you in the beginning itself, you should have a close, the monitoring is very important as far as market opportunities are concerned, because you have to grab them. You have to grab before, by grabbing others. Before grabbing others, you have to grab it. That is why close monitoring, assertiveness is very important, alertness is very important. Then you can grab the opportunities and you can introduce in the market. Your ideology you can introduce in the market, and accordingly you will come up in the right. What to sell, how to sell, where to sell. These are all very important points that entrepreneurs should have. Which market segmentation, what type of people are required for your product, what type of people is your product is required to whom, which type of people requires your product. So that segment of the segmentation, or the section of the people are to whom you are going to sell. So that is very important. On the basis of that, you need to develop the product, and you have to sell in the market, so that there will be no question of failure and all that. And you have, nowadays you can see we are all living in, and the changes are coming, and you can see, you all of you might have heard definitely, artificial intelligence, machine learning, 5G, IoT, Internet of Things, and blockchain, and all these technologies are transforming our future. There is no doubt. In the days to come, already some of the technologies are, all the technologies already slowly emerging, and in the days to come, definitely it emerges in a huge manner, and these technologies play a vital role in the human life of the entrepreneurship development and entrepreneurial skills point of view. These are all very play a vital role in the days to come or in the years to come. Artificial intelligence, it is a replacement of the human intelligence. Machine learning, once you machine is self-administration. Once you give certain commands to that, it will operate without manual. Earlier we used to work before, stand before the machines, and we have to use it all the time. We should be there 24 hours, and then only we can get the quality or specification wise the product we can get it. But nowadays it's not necessary. Man is not required over there, and he just give the specifications to the machine, and automatically the manufacturing process will take place. These are all things that are coming in, and you have not only the machines and the entrepreneurship, you have the changes in the medicine, biotechnology field, medicine field. You have so many situations are taking place. So many changes are taking place. 5G, Internet of Things, blockchain, and all that. The technologies are transforming. And in the commerce, whoever is there in the commerce field, they are earlier. And nowadays also there are different, the ledger systems are there. But because of the blockchain is going to come, it is only a unique, and once you transaction is transaction is recorded, that will be sufficient. It will go to all the people, and that will help. The time will be saved, and the people will immediately come to know what is there. And there is a link between one block to another block also. if any wrongs that happened or errors that happened, you can check from one black to another black and you can rectify it. So these are all things that are happening in the days to come and take place. And disrupt innovation, innovations. Say, for example, disrupt innovation means it's completely replacing the old existing product, existing machine, existing technology. The new technology will replace the existing technology. That is what we call, the disruptive innovation, creating new market and value network. These are all that are going to happen. Startup ecosystem. If you want to start an startup, if you want to begin a startup, a certain ecosystem is required. Say, for example, ideas, research, innovations, inventions are very, very important. So ideas and research inventions, why it is important means you have idea that you have to thoroughly observe it, thoroughly you have to check it, because you want to execute it. If you before you want to execute it, you have to make certain research, in the sense you have to collect the opinions and you have to analyze the opinions, and scientifically you have to analyze and you come out with the proper solutions, suggestions, and decisions can be taken. And what type of inventions and innovations time to time you need to add to that product, and all that you have to that type of the bent up ecosystem is supporting you or not. As an entrepreneur, you have to think in your area, in your region, that support system is there. Startup ecosystem is there or not to support your startup. This type of all these points are the support systems. So this type of environment must be there. That you have to check as an entrepreneur while you are entering into the startups. And available organizations with the startup activities. Startup, it's team members. You have to what type of people that you require for doing it, for continuing the startup, or for running the startup, to start the startup. And mentors, for some time to time, mentors are also very important. They need to, you should have certain the advices, how to develop your the product and all that. For that, mentoring is very important. Training, guidance, these are all very, very important. Startups supervision at a various stages. Supervision is also very important. Different levels of startups, different levels will be there in each and every startup. So then you need to check each and every, from one stage to another stage. When it is moving on, you need to supervise it, because the quality is the matter. The quality should not be compromised. If you compromise, then the startup will be failure. So all the effort that you take will become in vain. So that is why you need to take a lot of care on that. Investors, you have to check who are the investors for your startup, who will come forward to invest, whether venture capitals or all those things you need to think about. And you have entrepreneurial bent up team also. I already talked about in the previous slide. Entrepreneurial bent up is very important. Everybody in the team should have a certain objective oriented, certain goal oriented. They should have, so that if any work is there, the work should be they should feel, the team should feel the work is to be completed within the stipulated time, and it should be very effective. The quality work should be given, and the quality product or service should be supplied to the end users. That type of the bent up the team should have, so that the quality product will come out. That's the point. And guidance training for startups, these are all possible or available in the incubation centers I talked about in the previous slides. In the incubation centers, these are all available. So that is why you have, nowadays you can see there's so many incubation centers are there. You can go there, and for getting an idea, or if you have an idea, for example, before you get an idea, if you want to get an idea, you have to, nowadays you can have so much of literature on various aspects. There are so much of literature is there, networking is there. You have to go through it. You have to just check it, so that you will get an idea. If you want to get an idea, you can go through different journals are there, international journals, national journals are there, literature is available. You can check all those things. You have to go through it, so that you will get different ideas in your mind, and whatever idea is suitable for you, whatever idea that you feel it is suitable for you, and according to the situations in that area, region, or to the people, then you can go accordingly. And you have the guidance training startup. Universities also there, incubation centers. Nowadays many university incubation centers are there to discuss various issues of problems, and various issues, how the, as far as finances are concerned, as far as the startup beginning point of view, what are the stages and how they have to execute the idea, and all those things can be discussed in the platforms like incubation centers and all that. These are all the things are there in the universities. So there are many institutions are there with all incubators and all that. They are providing incubation centers to have the discussion on different areas. And you have the startup, that's what, financing, consultation, accounting, legal providing. These are all things you may not be knowing as an entrepreneur, young entrepreneur, fresh entrepreneur. You may not be knowing about the accounting, about the legal providers. If you want to start an entrepreneur, you should have all these, the things. You should have an idea, and you should have an awareness. If you don't know about the legal providers, tomorrow if something is somebody is filed a case against your product, then you need to face it. So that is why what is important, you should have an entrepreneur, you should have that the legal you have the technology, innovations, money, everything is there, but you don't know administration and governance. If you don't have, then it will be a problem. So you should have an entrepreneur minimum knowledge. You should have either legal provider, legally, accounting procedures, consultation, the financing. As far as financing is concerned, stage wise finance is important. All these things you should have an idea. And media for startups, and media is very important for startups too, because the media will give you the advertisement, and media will give you a lot of the awareness about your product, about your startup and your product. It will take to the audience, it will take to the end users about your product characteristics and all that. So that is why that is very important, that you should understand and who is correct for you to propagate your product and all that in the market. And some few notable startups I will give you here. So PhonePe is there, is a digital payment platform, and can send and receive money, make utility payments. Nowadays you can so many utility payments also we are making through PhonePe and all that. You know it very well. And the headquarters are in Bangalore, and that's what I told you in the beginning. Bangalore is a hub for startups and all that. So you are in a right place. You are in a right place to think about, to think creatively, innovatively, right? And these are all because you are living where in an environment, ecosystem, where it is all these things are possible. So invented by the Rahul, who is the founders, Rahul Chari and others are the founders for PhonePe and all that. And Book My Show, all of us nowadays. Book My Show is a very important entertainment destination with the global operations. It is in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and the founder is Rajesh Bal Pandey, Parikshit Dar. These are all the people who are behind the idea. It is their idea of Book My Show and all that. And Ola cabs, one of the biggest, the cab aggregators in India. It is also in Bangalore only, right? And Bhavish Agarwal is one of the founders over there. And Zomato, we know very much every day morning. Those who are busy with their works and all that, they will order food, will be ordered, and they will get the food through Zomatos and all that. And this is food aggregator founded by Deependra Goyal in 2008. So these are all things that are happening in the startups and flourished. These are clicked in the market. Snapdeal is an e-commerce startup, commerce to e-commerce. So they change how you just think over commerce to e-commerce. Commerce is a distribution of goods and services. From there, nowadays, the e-commerce is even in the pandemic situation. So you might be knowing very well, and you're all getting so many domestic appliances, food products, and all that through e-commerce and all that. You are buying so many electronic goods also through e-commerce nowadays. Even if it is a pandemic situation, we are unable to move out from our home. Even then, you are making the business. The e-commerce is only the platform that made excellent business during these pandemic situations. So these are all came out because of the ideas only. That's what I'm telling. Idea is the origin of the creation of the product, and that to that product you want to sustain. If you want to sustain, the innovations to be added. That is what is important, because it is sustainable. It adds the existing product should be added with some newness, some value addition must be there to the product, so that it will be sustainable and the people will continually stick to your product. That's what I mentioned in the previous. Next, you have another few more. Swiggy, also again Bangalore headquarters, Swiggy is also food ordering and delivery platform. Nandan Reddy is the co-founder for that. Big Basket is also, very well, all of us, we are experiencing about it, the services from Big Basket and all that. These are all service oriented, the startups. Big Basket is India's, the largest online food and grocery store that deliver products to the customers doorstep. It is also from Bangalore only. And you have Zomato. Zomato is an Indian food aggregator again, and by Deependra Goyal in 2008. And Oyo is the hotel group of hotels. Oyo has gone from being a hotel aggregator to a hotel brand in 6 years. See how Oyo hotels got a lot of the reputation nowadays that it has got, and the rates are cheap, and the quality is good quality they're providing and all that. In different various cities, the Oyo hotels are spreaded in our country. And you have Anther Energy. It is related to your engineering students. What is this? Anther is an electric vehicle company. I think you might be knowing very well about this. You might have studied also. Vehicle company that manufactures electric scooters and all that. So in the days to come, these are all the changes from one product. The product is same. It's a four-wheeler product, and the diesel and petrol you are using now, and from there you are shifting to the other side. What is that? The electric side, electricity that you are using instead of using the gas and the CNG, instead of using CNG, petrol, diesel. Now diesel, petrol, CNG. Also CNG is also taking place now. From CNG again, it is transforming to electricity. So these are all things that are one by one stage to another stage. It is one changing. The product is same. The innovations. These are all what we call innovations. Means value. You are adding value to that. Time to time, the changes that you are adding to the vehicles. As far as vehicles are concerned, credit offers rewards for paying credit card bills on time. It's also from Bangalore only, right? These are all sources I collected from this Your Story 2009. You can also check it in the net Your Story website. And entrepreneurial innovative strategies, ideas, commercialization, innovation, differentiation. Innovators are the differentiators, followership. So innovators and differentiators also innovators only. And ultimately, the followership means they have to implement it. It is called leads to business strategy. They will give the business strategy. They will develop the business strategy that includes, the investments and earnings, how we have to invest and what portfolios we have to invest, how the earnings return back earnings, how you will get what is the volume of returns, and all that will take into consideration on the basis of the innovative strategies and idea. Because the strategy that you might be having the strategy, but it has to take to the commercialization. I told in the beginning, commercialization is commercialization means the profit motive, profit element is involved in the commercialization. So ultimately, at the end of the day, what we look for commercialization, we look for profit. So that is why any idea, any enterprise that should always think about the end of the day, the profit. Commercialization means a profit element. So that's what. Investment includes design, manufacturing, marketing, support services. These are all very important in different stages. That's what I mentioned. In different stages, you require different investments, segments. Say, for example, design, some investment is required. It's not that investment totally the beginning only itself. You are not supposed to invest. There are different segments will be there. Different areas will be there on the basis of stages will be there. Design, manufacturing, marketing, support services, all these areas investments are required. Unless you have this segregation, then you can't even successfully conduct. So that is one thing. Earnings includes revenues, margins. Margin is very important. You should have when you are working hard and you have you are giving a quality service or quality product. Definitely, entrepreneurs will think about the margins, revenues, and all that. Good earnings, basically. Very important. One should think on those lines also for in addition to the successful entrepreneurship and all that. And you have the entrepreneurial technology driven industries. If you see robotics, nowadays we are seeing robotics are replacing the people, and once you give certain the specifications to it, and surgeries also nowadays the robotics are taking care of, looking after. And artificial intelligence, as I already mentioned, Yeah, artificial intelligence is a replace of human intelligence, ability to suggest several alternatives. So many alternatives it is suggesting. It is you to choose what type of the suggestion, the alternative that is required, suitable for your activity, that you can adapt and you can implement it. So that is one important. Biopharmaceutical, molecular molecular activity through molecular it is going on now, and to cell-based, molecular to cell-based biological molecule going to transform in the days to come. Medical devices also, you can see so much of technology and innovations, and computers, electronics. You all of us know that I told you already, Nokia and other telephones. Small example, I told you how the transforming is taking place in the electronics and communication, electronics and computers, electronics and other communication system also, machinery, quality, equipment, automobiles also. Automobiles, I told you already, the diesel to petrol, petrol to CNG, and CNG, from CNG to it is transforming to the electricity to run the effective and to reduce the cost. Automobile domain also, in every domain, the cost reduction is very important. That is the main objective of the entrepreneur. So for that, what are the ideas? What are the innovations that are there to be implemented, to be added to the existing one? That is very important. Aerospace, energy, communications, these are all I think we have seen. And technological innovations and entrepreneurship, sustainable innovation, CFL. If you see, CFL bulb was there once upon a time. Nowadays, it is transformed to LED bulbs. People are using it more number of people, majority of the people. And the product configuration. Product configuration is same. Configuration, there is no change in the configuration, but the only thing is you are transforming from CFL bulb to LED bulb today, and we are using it. And in the why these are all the things that are changing, improved, better quality. Ultimately, you require, the people require better quality. So for better quality, whatever better product is available in the market, they will go buy. They will go for that to buy. So that is why you, as an entrepreneur, you have to make all those modifications to your existing product and the existing product in the market. Then you have to supply it so that the people will be happy, and they will get it. And they whatever problems they have, the old one, with the old one, they will come out of the problems. They feel happy once they come out of the problem with the old existing technology. So that is why innovations are required. Innovations only the solutions for the problems that are facing by the different segments of the people for different products, the problems which are involved in different products. So evolutionary innovations, where the changes are incremental, evolutionary, revolutionary, disruptive. These are the things. Evolutionary changes are incremental. Revolutionary innovation, LED replace, I mentioned already, LED replace to CFL, replace the CFL. Disrupt innovation is completely change. Complete change. The product complete product will be changed. Transformational. It completely changes the methods that are adapted. So that is this is sources of innovation. Universities, I told you already, incubation centers and all that. These are all sources. Ideas will be generated and all that. How, from where is the place, means incubation centers, universities, many educational institutions and all that, we can take it. And you have the reshaping entrepreneurial innovative technologies, means the transforming situation, the transform, how the present situations are transforming, are changing from one set of things of existing things today, from this today's situation to in the future prospective situation, how we are moving on. That we'll see now. Pharma, as far as pharma is concerned, molecule, I already mentioned in the previous one, molecule based, and from molecule based we are moving on to biological cell based. We are moving on to that. And automobile, I already told you, IC engine driven is going on now. From there, you are moving on to electric power pack driven. And you have internet, when you talk about connecting people, is the connecting people nowadays, but in a more period of we are talking about smart cities and all that. So smart cities, a big total city will be connected, and people will be free. People are at free; they can make use of the internet connectivity, and that will be helpful for the people, all the people in that particular city. That is why we're talking about the smart city should have one of the characteristics of connecting people. All that city should have the connectivity of internet connectivity should have. And you have the banking conventional ledgers with password protected. We have that I already mentioned in the previous slide. So we have so much of ledger procedure today, and that is going to be changed with the blockchains and all that. Blockchain ledgers, from present ledger systems to ledgers to blockchain systems. And you have, because only one entry will be one time it will be recorded. That's all. For example, paying banker and receiving banker. Nowadays, what is happening? Paying banker and receiving banker both are recording the transaction. But in the days to come, with the help of blockchain and all that, what happens? Only one time it will be recorded. That's enough. So anybody can access it, and any bank can access it, and if any even modifications, corrections also can be made very easily. So such type of the things are coming up through blockchain technology and all that. Next, you have the operating systems. When you see operating systems coded, the analytic and services, from there you are moving on to as far as analytics and human analytics and services is concerned, human intelligence, from human intelligence to artificial intelligence, we are moving on. I already discussed about space. As far as space is concerned, disposable spacecraft is there today. Nowadays, we are seeing about experiencing. From there, you are moving on to the reusable spacecraft, planning to move to the other planets and all that. So diagnostic, as far as diagnostic is concerned, laboratory sampling today we are all experiencing. From there, we are moving on to wearable devices and all that. The energy, as far as energy is concerned, fossil fuels. From there, solar and other renewables. Already solar and renewables we are even experiencing is already emerging slowly, and it is there in many areas in this country. And crop protection, as far as farming is concerned, crop protection, chemical fertilizers and pesticides, we are using it now. Presently, we are working on it, and from there you are transforming to biofertilizers in the days to come. We are moving on to the biofertilizers and the biopesticides and all that. Retail, as far as retail thing is concerned, human served is presently going on. From human served to automated stores are going to come, and already e-commerce is existing and ruling the times nowadays. And robotics, human programmed to self-programmed. That's what I told you, machine learning and all that. Robotics, it is a self-programmed, self-administration. Next, you have the conclusion part. When you come to the last slide, technology innovations, you know very well, the buzzwords of today's, the entrepreneurship. We talk about the technology innovations. Entrepreneurship, you cannot imagine today without technology and innovations. So that is why it is compulsory. You are forced as an entrepreneur, you are forced to implement, you are forced to add the technology and innovations to your entrepreneurship. Otherwise, you cannot experience the development of the entrepreneurship, and you will be thrown out from the market, and you will not be there in the market or in the development area. So that is why economic also, it is not that the technology and innovations also will give a lot of boost to the economic development and all that. In the country, the GDP we're talking about, gross domestic product, and net national income, and per capita income, these are all interlinked and interrelated. So the economic and social development also is possible highly with the technology and innovations. And the incubation centers we talked about already, it is there, and so many new ideas are coming, and people are discussing, and they are coming out with thousands of startups today. Every day, thousands of startups are coming. Of course, I'm not saying that all the startups are clicking, flourishing. Some of the, at least 40 to 50% startups are successful if they maintain. There are many reasons. There are many causes for the failure of startups and all that. If these skills, I told you many skills, all these skills or any skill, one of the skill is failed by the entrepreneur, then the startup has to be shut down. So these things, so that is why you have to inculcate all these activities in your mind, and accordingly take very meticulous care about each and every segment when you are introducing the technology and other aspects of finance aspects, HR aspects, and teamwork, and everything. You need to take very utmost care and all that. Then only it helps you in the speedy growth and development lights. And you have the Startup India we're talking about today, startups and Make in India initiative. These are all very important nowadays. It is younger generation. For younger generation, is all very important, and giving a lot of the awareness and a lot of the priority to the younger generations to come up on those lines. Whoever is interested, they have to come up, because nowadays even in the new educational policy also, I think all of you might be knowing, new educational policy, this for the professional studies, they are giving a lot of priority. Voluntary professional studies, they are giving priority in the national educational policy, and going to be implemented from this year onwards. So the implementation part is important. All the elements that are mentioned in the new educational policy is very good, excellent, up to mark, excellent, superb. But the only thing is implementation is very important. We have to wait and see how. There are many institutions are also establishing in the process of implementation. There are many institutions are planned, and they are in the way of setup. And once it is implemented in full length, then the results will come. Result will not come in the overnight. It will take some 10 years or 15 years time to experience the result of this national educational policy. But the national educational policy is very, very important, because it is given a lot of priority to the research and development, and even to the entrepreneurship also. They are given a lot of priority. So these are all advantages for the younger generations to take an advantage and come up in their life with their ideas and innovations and all that. So budding entrepreneurs, these are all very important. But the point is, at the end of the day, guidance and training. If you want to success in the entrepreneurship, in your this thing, success. If you want to accomplish the goals or objectives, or ideas, if you want to accomplish, means the guidance training is very important. That is, at the end of the day, that is most important, time to time, and that has to be given to the entrepreneurship. Young entrepreneurs. For that, there are many institutions also there in the country. There are many institutions are there in the country. Because of the lack of the time, I did not give you. I have not mentioned that slide of what are the institutions related to the innovations and technology, and how they are supporting and all that. Another one more session is required to discuss. Many things are there to discuss, but because of the stipulated time, it is very difficult to discuss all those things. Many things are there. A lot of things. I can talk 3 to 4 hours on the total issue. Peripheral things, even if I discuss, it will take 3 to 4 hours. So that, but the time constraints and all that, this much. I think this will be helpful for you as far as skills are concerned, as far as the development of entrepreneurship concerned, as far as your ideas are concerned, innovations are concerned, skills are concerned, creativity is concerned. These are all very important buzzwords that you please keep it in mind. Keep it in your mind, my dear young students, and you are becoming great entrepreneurs maybe in the days to come. So these are all the very important skills, creativity, and you the knowledge, skills, creativity, and you have the creative thinking, analytical thinking, and these are all very, very important. You should equip all these things, right? Innovations, all these things are very, very important. So one should equip all these things, and you should ready. You should be ready to sell in the market yourself. When can you sell effectively? Means if you equip all these qualities with you, then you will be in demand. There is two words I tell you. People demand you, or you will be in demand. So you will be in demand if you are equipped with all the qualifications and all the requirements. You will be in demand. People will come to you. If you have to, if you go there, if you go to the opportunity, then you are demanding to a particular opportunity and all that. It should not be like that. My opinion to you, my advice to the young people, whoever is there in the as a participants, I am talking about, you should be in a position of demand. You should be in a position. So that is only possible only when you should equip all the skills, creativity, innovations, right? Ideology, all the observation of different environment, and the people's tastes, habits, needs, customs, traditions, and you have to check the problems of the people. What are the problems of the people they are facing for a particular product, for a particular environment? What are the problems they are facing? So if you gather all that information accordingly, you can make an idea, and you can give a proper solution, effective solution, so that what happens, they feel happy. That is the innovation. That is the creative. That is the skills that you should equip. That's what I would like to tell. I think this may be helpful for you. I think all of you may be equipped in the days to come according to the market demand, market situations. You need to equip yourself. That's what I would like to tell. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time and sharing your vast knowledge regarding the entrepreneurship and startup and technology innovations. So now it's open for the participants to ask any queries if you have.
Yeah, please.
Dear participants, you can ask any questions if you have. You can unmute yourself and you can ask, or
Yeah,
else
most certainly.
you can post the queries in the chat box so that I can uh, convey that to the speaker. He will answer to that.
All the students, you have to come with your opinions, ideas. You have to discuss with me. If you're interested, it's not that interested, you should, whether whatever domain you are going to be in, you should be innovative, you should have acquire skills, you have to equip and innovative ideas that you have to develop all these things, not in a overnight, but you have to observe all these things in the society, in the technological areas, and in different domains. What are the changes that are taking place? You have to observe keenly, very. You have to monitor it, and according to the changing situations, you should equip yourself. Then only you will come up. If you have any, if you want to ask anything, you can ask. Otherwise, if you have any idea, you can add to my lecture. I will also listen. It's an opportunity even for me to learn from you. Any of you.
Dear participants, if you have any queries, you can please ask.
Otherwise, anytime, my mail ID is also there. You can contact me anytime. Anytime, I'll give you if any doubts regarding to not only entrepreneurship and any domain, marketing or management, or because for you engineering graduates, management is tomorrow. If you want to become an entrepreneur, or if you want to take any business activity, these are all the things you have to equip yourself, and whether it is business or anything, but skills are very important. That's what I mentioned. The skills you have to equip in different domains, whether you are in business side, or whether you are in industry, whether you are in tourism, or any or in any industry, manufacturing area or trading area, whatever it is. You should equip the skills. Skills are matters in the days to come. So that is why technology, innovation, creativity, analytical thinking, these are all very, very important. For that, the latest technology also you should equip time to time. Artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, right? Robotics and machine learning. These are all the things. I think you might be knowing, all of you, because basically you're all graduates, you're all engineering students. You might be knowing all these things, but you should equip all these things, because the days to come in the future, it is ruling. So that is why the future is yours. You are all young people, young entrepreneurs, young, the generations, that you have to lead the life excellently, and you have to survive in a better way. And quality life is very important for everybody. So to lead quality life, the one should have the required skills on that. So that is why I advise all of you, please think on those lines.
Dear participants, you can listen to his words. Actually, he has vast experience in this domain. So whatever the key insights he has given, we can follow that as engineering students. So in future, you may have to go with
Yes,
entrepreneurships, or you may have to build some products. So it will be helpful if we follow his words.
My pleasure.
So with this, I think as we don't have any questions, we can move towards.
Sir, there is a doubt. Sir, there is a
yes,
question.
you can ask.
Yeah, please.
There is a question from a student. You can see in the chat box, sir.
Oh, sir. Let me see.
Please, can you please read out, please? Can you please?
So what are the different ways to raise the capital for a startup? Is what the question one participant has raised.
Capital, that depends upon what type of capital, what type of, what is the requirement of the capital, and all that depends upon the nature of the business, that the nature of the startup that you are going to take up, that you are going to carry out. So it is not that the capital structure cannot be, cannot give you this much of capital is required, this much of capital. It may be, it is the nature of it. All depends upon the nature of the entrepreneurship, nature of the startup that you are carrying out. What type of the startup that you are carrying out. On the basis of that, the capital structure will be there, and on the base of that, how much amount of capital is required, and how you have to get it, different sources of finances and all that, you can check about it. You can pose any questions even to my mail ID also. There is no problem, and I will give you all the information in the to your questions and queries. There is no problem,
So
and I'm always will be available to you.
So we have one more question from the participant.
Yeah.
What is nascent entrepreneur?
Achha, nascent means the a process. It is especially a process, or the organizational organizational process. It's a process of an organization. How the organization uh, has to carry out with its products or with its business activities, and that will be there in the nascent, the activities in the business. It all depends upon the business activity, the nature of business activity. It talks about.
And we have one more question, sir.
Process of organization. Process of organization.
Thank you, sir. We have one more question, that what opportunities in vehicle, electric vehicle industry?
Yes, electrical, good question. Electrical vehicles slowly emerging now, but the future definitely all vehicles will be converted into electrical only. So that is why electrical vehicle has got a lot of the importance in the days to come. Definitely. So that is very yes, is going to be done.
Thank you, sir. And one more question: how we can find out investor?
Investor means you have private investors are there. I already given, of course, friends, family members, friends, and these are all anyhow will be there. And you have other financial institutions, or many financial institutions are there. Venture capital people are also there, and you can find out according to your suitability and all that. You can get the funding from them, and you can go accordingly. Investment, and you can come up. But the investment and the venture, the capital is not only the success story. You should know as an entrepreneur how you have to execute the capital in different stages, and all that I explained in different stages. The design, and the production design, and the for other in the marketing, research, all these in the marketing side, how you have to invest in different segments, what are the capital size that you have to the total capital structure, how you have to divide and all that, how you have to spend it, so that ultimately it will be success. So the capital structure also vary from one product to another product, one startup to another startup. But the sources there are many sources to get the finance, to get financial sources. There are many to get finances or funding. There are many sources are there. It's not one. There are huge, many sources are there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
So these are all the questions and queries from our participants. So one more question we have: what are the government schemes for rural women entrepreneurs?
Yeah, there are many. For example, self-help groups are there nowadays, and you have in rural areas, self-help groups are working very huge number of self-help groups are there, and for them, so many enterprises are there. Say, for example, there are many things, bangle shops, and you can take so many rural oriented activities, bangle shops, kirana shops, and so many even professional shops. If they want to open, government is ready to funding for them, and you can apply for that, and you will get the rural women today. They are getting the funds. Funds is not a problem. Getting funds from various sources, and self-help groups, one of the important group, and in that group, whatever number of women are there, each member can get some amount of loan through thrift and all that. and that amount will be spent investing in various small businesses and all that. And they are improving their income levels in the rural areas. And in addition to the agricultural activities, they are involving in these entrepreneurial activities also by taking loan from the through thrift of self-help groups. They are taking loan, and they are, because it is interest-free loan, and they are investing it in different small businesses in the rural areas. So, and women is the priority. In women is the priority. Women is getting will be given loan in the rural areas. Men is because the self-help groups, so basically women groups are there. So for them, the government always wants to look for women empowerment and all that. For that, the loans or any loan are providing on the name of women only in the self-help groups of people, and in over a period of time without interest they have to repay it. It's a repayment system also very liberal. They can easily repay it. There is no hard and fast rule. You have to pay this much amount on this date. Like that, it is not there. Very no hard and fast rule. Easy installments will be there without interest. So these are all the things that are happening in the rural area for the empowerment of the women, especially in the rural areas. Thank you. Good question.
Thank you so much, sir. Are there any questions from participants? Are there any other questions? So I think we don't have any other questions, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So it gives me immense pleasure to deliver a vote of thanks for this event. On behalf of our Department of Electronics Communication Engineering, Dayanand College of Engineering, I, Dr. Shashiraj K, express my heartfelt thanks to our resource person, Dr. Kankipati Srinivas Rao, who is Associate Professor, Usmania University, Telangana, for accepting our invitation to be the resource person or speaker for this webinar and enlightening us about the technology and innovations in the value addition for entrepreneurial skills, and how to build innovative products which are fit for our market. So I once again thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation during your busy schedules. And I also thank the management of Dayanand Sagar institutions, Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering, principals Dr. C.P.S. Prakash sir, and Professor and HOD of Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Dr. T.C. Manjunath sir, for their motivation and continuous support in organizing the webinars like this. And I would like to thank my fellow coordinators, Dr. Pavitra G. Madam, then Professor Trupti Tagare Madam, and all the staffs of our department and the participants and students for making this webinar most successful one. Once again, I thank you one and all who are present here. Thank you, sir.
I thank once again the great management of the college, Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering, and especially the Department of Electronics and Communication. I thank my sincere thanks to CPS Prakash ji and Principal, and Dr. T.C. Manjunath ji, Professor HOD, EC, and coordinators, all coordinators, Pavitra ji, Dr. Pavitra, Dr. Shashiraj, and Professor Trupti Tagore, and all other organizers. If I don't name anybody, excuse me, but I thank each and every one who are participated, and the participants, students, and other faculty, students, my young students. For all of you, it's I really congratulate you, and I really thank for the management and all the faculty members, organizers, coordinators, and all these people. Thank you very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with you, to be associated with you in this afternoon time. Thank you very much. Thanks you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Dear participants, feedback link is shared in the chat box. You can give your feedback. Thank you.